through the process, the OCNE process, and the mentorship in that process, I learned a lot about best practices in teaching. That definitely has been a shaping.
Can you give me examples for those who haven't been here, right?
Yes.
Examples of some of those best teaching practices that have really been important to your teaching.
I think it's been related to, well, so for instance, the use of a concept-based learning activity in clinical. This is completely from OCNE processes, and I had never done this before.
I need to understand it better as an outsider, so
Okay.
just describe how you go about preparing a concept-based clinical
Activity. I think there's multiple ways to do it. What I tend to do with my students, for instance, I do one on fluid and electrolytes every time with students because it's fundamental to pediatrics. And so what it is, my understanding of it is, my goal is to help them develop a deeper understanding of the issues by seeing essentially multiple cases of the same thing. So I happen to use this term the day after Martin Luther King, for instance, because students can't prepare for their patients. So I don't want to give them patients the next day, so we'll do an activity like this. And I give them a patient that I pick out for them, and they will do some basic assessment and chart review. And they will then think through the fluid and electrolyte issues of that particular child, their pathophysiology, how does that affect it? What does the fact that it's a 3-month-old, how does that impact fluid and electrolytes? Or maybe this is a 14-year-old or something else like that. So both development, excuse me, and pathophysiology, what meds might they be on, how might that put them at risk.
I was just thinking this is such a great example of deep learning.
Yes.
And surely there isn't a concept that's more pervasive than electrolyte and fluid balance.
Yes.
It's a great example.
And so I believe that that is an example of a way that I have developed that I did not do before. And I see the depth in student understanding when we're done.
That's wonderful.